Okay, thank you for attending. This is the Colorado Virtual College Fair. We thank all of our panelists and our attendees for being here this evening. Before we start the presentations, I do want to just cover a few housekeeping items. The first is that as this is a webinar, you will be posing questions to the presenters via the Q&A button. I do just want to make sure everybody understands you can pose questions at any time during these presentations, and you can pose them to any college or university that's here. You don't just have to pose questions to the college or university that's presenting. So please take advantage of that Q&A button and send as many questions as you can to all of our presenters. Also, your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists will not be able to see or hear you. We also want to encourage you to sign up for more sessions. This is just one of many college presentations that are being held, and you can do that on the same page that you signed up for this session. And lastly, we are recording this session, and so about a week or so after the end of the session, you will be able to access it from the same page that you signed up at. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first presenter, who this evening will be Bates College.
No. All right, and it looks like I am looking at the wrong screen. Hold on one moment, folks. Beautiful. Hi, everyone. My name is Liz McGonigal. It's a pleasure to be here with you this evening for this college fair. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us on yet another Zoom call. We're excited to have you here. So I represent Bates College. We are a small liberal arts and sciences college located in Lewiston, Maine. We're around 2,000 students, entirely undergraduate. And today I'm going to focus on sharing a few things that I think makes the college unique in the small liberal arts and sciences landscape. So we'll start with our mission statement. For us, this is the primary thing that I think sets us apart as an institution. We have a relatively uncommon history. In 1855, we were the second college in the country to admit students regardless of their race, their gender, their socioeconomic status, their ability to pay, or their religious affiliation. Bates has always had a very clear identity and a commitment to the ideals of egalitarianism, openness, stewardship of the wider world. It's important to note that we have not always lived up to these ideals, and this is where I think Bates gets really interesting. Because of our founding, a certain type of individual is drawn to attend Bates, to work at Bates, and these are people interested in activism, social justice, making change, challenging one another, and being challenged themselves. And so there is a lot of challenge at the college for us to be a better version of ourselves and for students to be a better version of themselves as well. So examples of this progressive foundation and how we move forward in history. We've never had Greek life. That was a part of our original charter. We went test optional almost 40 years ago, and a big shout out to Bowdoin, who's also presenting tonight, who's also test optional for a long time. And then we were one of 7 colleges that has declared carbon neutrality. So this is a living, breathing, beautifully complex environment. We invite you to join us in the conversation about how to be stewards of the wider world. So a couple of photos of our lovely campus in fall, in winter, and in spring. And next, I'd love to talk with you about our community in general. So we are this small, classic central campus community, but we are surrounded by the small cities of Lewiston and Auburn. In the state of Maine, we are actually located in the 2nd largest city, and we are on the Androscoggin River. Lewiston and its twin city of Auburn are former mill towns with French Canadian roots. We also have a large population of new Americans coming from a host of countries in West Africa. So we double down on Francophone culture in a really interesting way. It has a really entrepreneurial spirit. Outside of Portland, Lewiston is a hub for medicine, for conversations around politics, for environmental activism, for manufacturing. And that means as a student, you will be engaged in the world outside of the classroom. So our students are able to walk to internships and career-related experiences during the school year. It also means that you'll have the opportunity to work with the nationally recognized Harvard Center for Community Partnerships. Sorry, I extended my slides. And the Harvard Center for Community Partnerships really places an emphasis on you having career-related experience in Lewiston and Auburn. And you can do that through classes, through research projects, et cetera. So it provides a great opportunity for you, again, to get hands-on experience. Beyond that, we are located in the state of Maine. It's fabulous. For 45 minutes from the ocean, there's the Bates and Morse Mountain Conservation Area, which is this beautiful space where students can work and members of the Maine community can also visit. And we are also 45 minutes from Portland. We are close to tons of hiking and kayaking and cross-country skiing, surfing, etc. So if you like the outdoors, Maine is an absolute playground. Great, so next, talking about academics, a couple of highlights about our academic experience. We value freedom and flexibility. At Bates, you don't apply to major and you don't have to declare your major until the end of your second year. We have an open curriculum and almost a quarter of our students choose to double major. So a little bit about the academic experience. Things that are particularly unique to our academic experience, short term is a time at the end of the school year where for 3 weeks our students just take one class. This might be a class taken by a leading journalist for a purposeful work experience. You might be kayaking up and down the coast of Maine, collecting rocks for a geology class. You might be in Alaska doing indigenous-driven archaeology, or Kingston, Jamaica studying community development, or you might be able to conduct research. So some fun opportunities during short term. Speaking of research, that is an integral part of the Bates academic experience. All of our seniors are required to complete a thesis or capstone. Our community believes that you have something to share after 16 years. So you come up with a question and then spend either a semester or a full year figuring out the answer. Purposeful Work is what we call our center, our career development center, and it is a mission-based, holistic, intentional, and pragmatic program. We believe that liberal arts environments should expand your opportunities rather than narrow you. So you spend your first 2 years at Bates getting familiar with a host of different career-related experiences, and then we help you get hands-on experience so that you are competitive for positions after graduation. The best part is that it works. Over 99% of our students are placed within 6 months after graduation. So a couple of photos of our students. We have clubs, we have varsity athletics, we have performances. If you're interested, you can learn more on our website. When people ask us to describe a Bates student, I like to say that they are open-minded, collaborative, adventurous, smart, and game. They're really interested in trying different things, and they're excited to enjoy the world around them. Lastly, I'd like to mention admission and financial aid. So we practice holistic admission. We have been test optional for almost 40 years. So if you have questions about that, let us know. And our financial aid experience is meant to be meeting you where you are. So we meet 100% of your family's demonstrated financial need for all 4 years. And our average federal student loan debt is less than half of the national average. Thanks so much for your time this evening and enjoy the other presentations.
Great, thank you very much, Bates. And just a reminder, it looks like a few attendees have joined us since we began. You are able to ask questions to any of the panelists using the Q&A feature on the Zoom bar. So up next for us is Bowdoin College.
Alrighty, hi folks. My name is Justin Fahey. I'm an Associate Dean of Admissions here at Bowdoin College, and it is a true pleasure to go after my colleague and know that there are several of us from Maine represented today in this presentation. So, Bowdoin, let's jump in. I have about 5 minutes and 45 seconds left. So, I am here to introduce you to Bowdoin College, also in Maine, just down the road in a small town called Brunswick, Maine. And the cheesy dad joke that I like to start with is, if you don't know how to say Bowdoin, none of us know how to say it at the beginning. It rhymes with exploding. Bowdoin exploding. There you go. Dad joke number 1, done. This is a photograph of our historic campus. As I mentioned before, we are in Brunswick, Maine, which is located right on the coast of Maine, right on the Atlantic Ocean. The campus is comprised of a very busy set of pathways that we have our students walking to and from class, to and from their dining hall, to and from the dining hall, to and from their residences on those paths. They also bike and skateboard and scooter around. And then in the distance there, you can see the downtown area. So Brunswick and the college are, there's really an inextricable link, both physical and emotional and cultural, etc. But in terms of that physical link, the college is 5 minutes from downtown, a 5-minute walk from downtown. And the way I like to describe Brunswick, I use my grandmother's expression, it is cute as a button. It is sort of your idyllic New England college town. Returning us to about third grade, lovely Venn diagram here showing you Bowdoin and Maine. Bowdoin the college, Maine the state. There's a lot to talk about. The relationship is incredibly strong, and I think it's impossible to talk about Bowdoin without talking about Maine. Maine has always been a magnet for hardworking people who think for themselves. Mainers don't do a lot of bragging. We appreciate the world around us, and we tell it like it is. And then we welcome newcomers with lobster rolls and blueberry pies. Thinking about location, I think it's important to mention that classes, discussions, and educational experiences really take full advantage of our proximity to the extraordinary beauty of Maine. So this is one of our geology professors in class, and I think I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Schiller Coastal Studies Center. This is a phenomenal resource for students across the board, irrespective of major. There is a marine lab there, there's a terrestrial lab, there's a yoga studio, an art studio. We just built a series of dorms there and a dining hall. And again, this is the Schiller Coastal Studies Center. That is a 15-minute drive from campus and is used by students across the board. So this is a photograph of an etching of Joseph McKean. Joseph McKean was a mathematician, an astronomer, a minister, and also Bowdoin's first college president. He said that the college shouldn't only benefit the people who get an education here, but that Bowdoin was founded to benefit the common good. He said, it's not about making your life easier, it's about making our society and our world better. That's one of the founding principles of Bowdoin, and it's something that we stick with through and through. If you will, it's the through line of the experience for students, for faculty, for staff, and for alumni. So in terms of, well, I should say, thinking of that notion of the common good, what we're looking for is we're looking for people who are going to root for one another, people who are going to work to solve really big, tough questions and identify ways that we collectively can solve those problems. At Bowdoin, it's not us against each other, it's rather us against the problem. Jumping forward now a bit to the application process. This slide usually takes 4 or 5 slides to well, what was I trying to say there? This is the final of a series of 4 slides. There we go, that's what I was trying to say. The final of a series of 4 slides, just explaining in brief the application process and a couple of important things to mention here. As Liz so kindly mentioned, Bowdoin is also test optional. We have been so since 1969. We feel confident in our ability to select gifted, generous, grounded students using their transcripts, recommendations, and personal statements. We don't necessarily need your test scores. It's legit. We're not lying. It's not a joke. Nearly 30% of the students who matriculate in any given class have not submitted their test scores for any number of reasons. Also on this slide, it's important to mention the grades. We're looking for grades for sure. The work is hard here, and we want to make sure students can keep up and do the work. And we're also looking for heart. We're looking for that for those students who are, yes, fiercely intelligent, but also kind and generous and compassionate individuals. And then the last piece to mention is income. We are incredibly fortunate to be able to offer a sort of a 3-part financial aid package, or a student aid package. And that is to say, we are need blind, we need 100% of a demonstrated need, and we offer grants, not loans. Each incoming class at Bowdoin College is uniquely diverse and talented, but every single person who attends Bowdoin has one thing in common. We believe in them. We see something in them, and we believe that the world will benefit from their fullest potential. Thank you, Christopher, for the cue. I will press mute now.
Great, thank you, Bowdoin. And I never knew how to pronounce Bowdoin until I moved to New England many years ago. So it is a skill that you pick up, college pronunciation. Thank you. Our next presenter is going to be University of New England.
Perfect, thank you. Let's see. Oh, shoot. All right. Well, by the time you guys are done sitting through these presentations tonight, you're going to be very well versed in everything Maine, because guess what? University of New England is also located in Maine. But to start out, my name is Trevor Faulkner, one of the admissions counselors at the University of New England. And like I said, we are in Maine. We have a few different campuses. This picture that you are looking at currently, this is an aerial shot of our undergraduate campus in Biddeford. As you can see, we have over 4,000 feet of water frontage property, including our own beach right there on the Saco River. And then outside of those jetties is the Atlantic Ocean. And it's a pretty snazzy place to live for 4 years as a student, right on the coast of Maine. And here's just our newest building that we are showcasing on the Biddeford campus. It's known as the Commons. It's very student-centered. I like to call it the one-stop shop because you can go there to the main dining hall. It has all our student support services, such as like our academic advisors, our tutors, global education. If you have a question, someone in that building will most likely be able to answer your question. And then downstairs, we have a pub style grill. So lots of different options to eat on campus. And what's even better is that no matter where you are in the building, you get a beautiful view of the Saco River. So one of my favorite places on campus. 30 minutes north up the road in Portland, which is the largest city in Maine, we have our graduate professional campus. So this hosts programs such as our pharmacy, nursing, our dental school. And this campus is exactly what you think of when you think of a New England style campus, cobblestone pathways with brick buildings. And you can obviously see we got a beautiful shot of this campus in the fall. So this is, again, our graduate professional campus in Maine. And then we also have our very own campus in Tangier, Morocco. One of the cool perks about coming to UNE is that whatever you're paying to go to school in Maine, you can actually pay to go to school in Tangier, Morocco on our very own campus. Our students travel 5 times more than the national average. So we like to get them to Maine, and then we like to kind of show them the world. So Tangier is situated in northwestern Africa, and it's a nice mixture of African and European style culture. And it's just a great experience for everyone. So that is our campus in Tangier, Morocco. UNE is also a liberal arts institution. We have over 45 majors, and you can see the list of them here. So we have anything from the heavy sciences, such as like health sciences, like nursing, athletic training, all the way down to field sciences like environmental science, marine sciences, down to the humanities, such as like English, history, and stuff of that nature. So something for everyone. But if you see anything that catches your eye, you can definitely find out more information on our website underneath all our programs. And outside of the classroom, the majority of your learning is going to come through experiential learning opportunities. So whether it be research in the field where you are tracking birds for research, trying to understand where they're migrating to in the winters, or whether you take one of our study abroad courses, you can see this picture featured in the middle. These are students that are actually studying the fisheries outside or on the coast of Iceland. And then you have a student that is getting his clinical experience in our dental hygiene clinic, where he's working on a patient right there. He's going to graduate with close to 500 hours of experience before his 4 years are done as a dental hygiene major. So whatever the program you are going to be learning by doing, you're not going to just be sitting there taking notes in class all day. So I think that's one of the cool opportunities when coming to UNE. And then outside of academics, we also have plenty of clubs and organizations on campus. To be exact, we have over 90 clubs. You can see students here in downtown Portland. They were part of the Alliance Club. They were actually marching in the Pride Parade in Portland. So they got a whole bunch of students together. So it was a great outing for them. We also just introduced football to our campus, and it's taken the whole university by storm. It's an awesome, awesome time. A lot of school spirit at these games. And then you have a student that is part of the surfing club who is just exploring the coast of Maine. And she was actually able to rent out a paddleboard through our outdoor office at UNE. And then our final slide here, just quick pieces about how to apply. We are a new member of the coalition application. So we like to highlight that here. But you can also find us on the common application as well as our own UNE application. This year, or in the previous 2 years, we have been test optional. We were already thinking of going test blind before COVID, but with all the testing sites being canceled this year, we decided it was the best time to go test blind. So this year, we are only looking at your official high school transcript, and that is it. And for those of you that want to get your applications in early, our early action deadline is November 15th. Non-binding, so you don't have to commit to UNE. You just find out if you're admitted before the new year. If you do want to contact us, feel free to reach us through email, or you can give us a call and follow our social media. Thank you for joining us tonight, and hope to read your application soon.
Great, thank you, University of New England. And as we transition to the next presenter, again, just a reminder that you're welcome to ask questions of any of the presenters at any time using the Q&A function. So up next is Goucher College.
Okay, hi everyone. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. I lost my screen share.
Here, let me stop mine quickly, and that might make it a little bit easier for you. It was up there for a second.
Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm coming. Thank you everyone for your patience, and it's nothing like technology and pressure all at the same time. Well, good evening. My name is Lisa Hill, and I am Senior Associate Director of Admissions here at Goucher. It's so very nice to meet you. We are now moving down the coast of the US to the Middle Atlantic region, and we're now in Maryland. Goucher is located in Maryland, just north of Baltimore in the suburb of Towson. We are in a great location in that we are about an hour north of Washington, D.C. and about 4 hours south of New York. The Baltimore Washington International Airport is about 45 minutes from our campus. So students have the benefit of being in a suburban area of Maryland, but have easy access to Baltimore, which is about 12 miles north of us. And so in terms of cultural and academic activities, they're very close. Oh. I'm sorry. I am messing up, and I do apologize for this. Christopher, it seems that I'm having some technical difficulties trying to do this.
Why don't we
Can you skip to somebody
move
else and
to
then I'll get to
University?
my,
Yeah.
yes,
So
thank you.
we'll move on to University of Maryland College Park, and then we'll go back to Goucher at the end. So University of Maryland, the floor is yours.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Let me try sharing my screen. Awesome. So good afternoon or evening, depending on where you are, everyone. My name is Jen. I am the admissions counselor at the University of Maryland in College Park. To start off, I like to share some information that you kind of see on the screen here. UMD College Park is the flagship institution of the state of Maryland. So we are the largest school in the state. We have over 30,000 undergraduate students, including graduate students. That'll put us at over 40,000 students. So we are pretty large. In terms of some distinctions that you kind of see on the screen, just about 2 weeks ago, we were recognized the number 19 best public school in the US, according to US News and World Report. So we're incredibly proud of that. We're also ranked number 10 and 16 for best value for public school for in-state and out-of-state respectively. So in terms of value, that's really awesome too. Something that we're really proud of is that we have been recently ranked number 1 for best college for LGBTQ students. And so in terms of campus life for students who identify as LGBT, that's something that we're incredibly proud of as well. Something in terms of us being the flagship, we are also a D1 school. So we have 19 NCAA Division I sports teams. So when it comes to school spirit, it's definitely high at Maryland. If you're familiar, if you've seen us on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, or have been on campus before, definitely lots of school spirit there. We have over 800 clubs of organizations for students to stay involved. It's rarely that students will go home on the weekends because there's literally so much for you to do. The last thing that I'll mention on the screen is that when it comes to racial diversity, that's something that UMD is incredibly proud of as well. More than 40% of our undergraduate students identify as students of color who represent over 100 countries from all over the world. In terms of our location, I'm sure some of you may or may not have heard of College Park before. By no means is it a major city, but it's just 3 miles north of the DC border. Like I said, we're located in Maryland. We're incredibly close to our nation's capital. This is something that is huge to us because this allows students to take advantage of research opportunities and internships as well. In terms of other things that are in our area, there are 3 airports in our area, so it makes it accessible for students to fly in and out of the state. So since you all will be coming from Colorado, there's 3 airports for you to choose from. In terms of other accessibility too, since we are such a large school, there are shuttles that'll take you around campus and off campus too at a 10-mile radius. So it's pretty far off campus as well. There's a metro stop off campus where students can hop onto the metro, and it takes you about 15 minutes to the heart of DC to get you around to the area there. We have broke ground last year for the Purple Line, which is to cut straight through campus. So then in a few years, you won't have to leave campus to have access to the metro. But again, makes it extremely accessible for our students to go downtown, to go to the museums, festivals, things like that, or even just their internships. In terms of our academics, UMD offers over 90 different majors and programs that are broken down into 12 colleges that are all located on our campus. There's no separate application process to get into any of our programs. It's all one application that you use for UMD. The last one that you see listed on here, Letters and Sciences, is not an official college. It's our advising home for students who are undecided or undeclared. More than 60% of our students come in as undecided or undeclared, so you have until the end of your sophomore year to declare what major you want to. So it's completely okay if you have no idea what you want to do. However, there are some programs that are limited enrollment, which means that they're highly sought after programs. And so we have to limit the capacity of how many students we can admit into these programs. 4 of these programs are competitive, which are business, computer science, biological sciences, and engineering. To find more information about these LEPs, the website is lep.umd.edu. If you aren't admitted directly into your LEP of choice, you'll just get put into Letters and Sciences, and then you'll go through the process of applying into your major of choice. When you are on campus and you meet your advisor, it's a more straightforward process. You take the classes that you need, and then you can apply into your major once you are on campus. We are both on the Common App and Coalition. That's exciting news because this is our first year on the Common App, so that's new to us. So if you have any questions, again, please put that in the chat and I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. Here is a checklist of everything that we require, though I won't go through everything. We are happy to announce that UMD is test optional this year. That's across the board for admission, for scholarship review, and for special programs such as our Honors College and College Park Scholars. If you have specific questions about our requirements, please let me know. The last thing that I'd like to mention is our deadline, because that's something that's really important to us. Our early action deadline is November 1st. There are 3 benefits when you apply by November 1st, which is automatic consideration for free money, which is merit scholarships, which we love. There's no additional application process there. Special programs, and priority consideration for admission. And yeah, so that's the bulk of it. Again, if you have any questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat. Be more than happy to answer them.
Great, thank you, University of Maryland. Our next presenter is going to be Washington College.
Hello, hello, and here I am. Welcome to one of the last people on this list, but I promise not to be boring. So here we go. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you so you can see where I'm coming from. All righty, so welcome to Washington College. Washington College is a gem of a school on the eastern shore of Maryland. We are 1,288 students strong, and we are very proud of our 10-to-1 student-teacher ratio and our average class size being of 13. Now, I'm sure you're listening right now and you're saying, oh my God, what is going to differentiate this private liberal arts college from all of the other private liberal arts colleges that I have heard about already on this call? Well, what you need to know is that Washington College is actually very big on experiential learning. Now, what experiential learning does is get your hands dirty in the actual learning process. We don't have any graduate students. So because we don't, and we have such a small student-teacher ratio, we are solely focused on you and going to the next level. So when our professors need some help with research, they're asking you. When our professors are presenting at nationwide presentations and conferences, they're taking you. So this is an experience where we are actually going to be encompassing you with all of those great benefits of actually having graduate level type experiences, even on all the while that you are a undergraduate. 5% of our students actually identify as international, 22% actually identify as students of color. We have over 80 different student clubs and organizations, all to keep you excited and engaged in your college experience. We too also offer more than one campus. Washington College's main campus is about 112 acres. However, about 10-minute drive away, we have the River and Field campus, which is a 4,700 acre plot of undeveloped land. It is solely what I like to call a living learning classroom. And in that classroom, what we're doing is things like bird binding. So we're binding birds so we can track their migration all over the earth. We're harvesting and growing genetically modified foods. We are hiking, fishing, all of those great things. Now, we are a waterfront campus, so we are about 10 minutes walk away from the Chesapeake Bay. So we are extremely close to water, and it makes up so many more of the things that we do. Because of that closeness, we actually have a very, very vibrant environmental science and studies program. Location-wise, we too are in Maryland, so whoop, whoop. We're really happy to say that I love to be able to say that we are a small, I like to call us a one-tank trip place. We're about an hour and a half away from Washington, D.C. We're an hour and a half away from Baltimore, and we're less than 2 hours away from Philly. But we're also about 3 hours away from New York. So about 65% of our students have taken advantage and still take advantage of our opportunities with regards to internships. Move this a little bit forward. We actually have a plethora of different programs and majors, minors. All of them are very easily put together, and at Washington College, because it's a private liberal arts college, we really expect you to drive the bus. You will have your own advisor. So because you have your own advisor, that is going to be the person that you are going to sit down with and say, I don't even know what exactly I want to do for a major. And your advisor is going to say, well, what do you like to do? Because at Washington College, you don't have to actually commit to a major until the second semester of your sophomore year. So you can take any of the combination of these things, put them together to create your dream opportunity. Washington College is really founded on about 5 different pillars, all of which you see here. I'm going to mention one, the written word. At Washington College, we actually have the formation and the opportunity for you to continue to build on writing every year that you're at Washington College. So everyone, and I mean everybody who graduates from Washington College, graduates with a very strong writing opportunity. We also have the opportunity for you to learn without limits. So we have amazing opportunities with student study abroad programs. We have, as I mentioned, our internship opportunities. And let me say, at Washington College, we are really marketing ourselves, and we're able to be to actually help you by getting you to come into our career services right away. So as opposed to you waiting for career services until you're a senior, you are actually going to be invited and welcomed into the career services centers to use their workshops and resources right away. So this means if you've never had a real job, you'll be able to say, I don't know what to do, and write a resume. How do I do that? We're going to say, come on in. We're going to help you with that. We're going to show you how to write a resume. We're going to show you how to market yourself. We're going to show you how to, in essence, develop your professional brand. So by the time you are actually able to move to the next level, you're going to be very well prepared. Moving forward. This is a few action shots of things that are happening on our campuses. Let me move back one, just to let you know that we have a lot of different things going on. As I said, we are right on the eastern shore of Maryland, so you know that there's crabs everywhere. We also have a plethora of different cultural opportunities. You can definitely find things and strength in the numbers with students that are going to be from all over the place doing so many wonderful things. Just advance my screen a little bit. But most importantly, let me tell you how to apply. You can apply to Washington College using the Common Application, and it is a free application. I could not make it more attractive than that. You have the ability to use your great opportunity with this application, and it actually doubles as your scholarship opportunity. So if there's anything that Washington College can do to help you get yourself to the next level, we're looking for driven, determined students who are ready to go and ready to actually study and learn using their own hands and driving the bus of their own academic future. Thank you for your time.
Great, thank you very much, Washington College. And so now we're going to move into our final presentation, which is Goucher. And just a reminder, feel free to submit any last Q&A questions you might have to the panelists. And now I'm going to turn it over to Goucher.
Hi, everyone. Thanks again for your patience. Again, my name is Lisa Hill, and I'm Senior Associate Director of Admissions at Goucher. Goucher is located just in Maryland, just north of Washington, D.C., and just south of New York City. Our students take full advantage of being so close to so many major cities in terms of academic and social activities. Our campus, it is a 287-acre campus. We have about 1,300 students in attendance. We are a residential campus, so over 90% of our students live on campus all 4 years. It's very much a community where we walk around, we say hi, we smile at one another. Our average class size is about 17, and we have a 10-to-1 student-faculty ratio. The type of students that do well at Goucher tend to be intellectually curious, passionate about social justice, and have an eagerness to explore the world. And the foundation of our curriculum mirrors this in terms of its innovation, the global education, and social justice. For the last 2 years, we've kind of reimagined our liberal education requirement to concentrate more on things we thought students want to learn. We designed our curriculum now around a series of seminar classes that allow students to start talking about and trying to solve big world issues like racism, like immigration and borders, like the climate. And we start that with our seminar classes. We do offer areas of proficiency for all of our students in data analytics, foreign language, and writing. We also ask students to pursue 2 areas of justice in race, power, and perspective, and environmental sustainability. We find that this foundation of interdisciplinary learning will provide students with the skill set needed to be successful in any of the careers that will become available in the 21st century. We also require all of our students to study abroad, and we've been doing this since 2006. We have over 60 programs for students to choose from. Our programs range from 3 weeks in length to a year in length. And it's pretty cool to be on a campus where everyone knows they're going to incorporate an international experience because the conversations are bigger or broader. And typically this will take place in the student's junior year. As a residential campus, we emphasize community in all that we do. Our first year village is specifically designed for new students. It's all double rooms. It opened up officially 2 years ago. It includes hammocks and fire pit, exercise studio, a demonstration kitchen. All rooms are doubles, but it's a very comfortable place where students can get to know each other as they transition to college. We redesigned our dining center to now be included in the middle of the campus. It looks like a major food court, but it's all done by one dining service. Students have the options from brick oven pizza to a Mongolian stir fry to kosher to allergen-free food. So it's a wide variety of a dining experience. We also offer students the opportunity to participate in over 60 clubs and organizations. We have spaces of affirmation in our Center for Race, Equity, and Identity. And we offer Division III sports, a nationally ranked co-ed equestrian team, and there's a lot of other opportunities for students to really develop the co-curricular side of their college experience. In terms of applying, we are on the Common application. We also offer the video application, which is unique to Goucher in that students will submit a 2-minute video, as well as 2 pieces of scholastic work in lieu of test scores and a transcript. So it's really you telling us why you see yourself flourishing at Goucher. You can choose either application. It doesn't matter. It's whatever is comfortable with you. Overall, we are test optional. We've been test optional since 2006, and we require no application fee. When students apply for admission, they're automatically considered for our merit scholarships. And so that information is included in your acceptance letter, so you will know that up front. We also have an extensive financial aid program. You just submit the FAFSA and we consider you for financial need. Over 90% of our students receive some sort of assistance on campus. Here are our deadline dates. Although we had notification dates, we do notify students of their admission and merit scholarship on a rolling basis. So you don't have to wait for that information. I thank you very much for your time. Again, I thank you for your patience, and I'm sorry for the technical issues. And I look forward to sharing more information about Goucher with you. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, Goucher, and thank you to all of our panelists. We are at the end of our presentation for this evening. So before we end it, I just want to go over a quick few things with you. Again, thank you to all the panelists and thank you for all the students who joined us this evening. When I close this session, you'll get a quick 4-question survey that we ask you to take a minute to complete. We also, again, encourage you to sign up for more sessions at the same website where you signed up for this session. And again, within about a week, a recording of this session will be available on that same website. So thank you again for joining us. Thank you to everybody, and have a great evening.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.